Deep in the heart of a remote village nestled in the dense forests of Asia, whispered tales of an ancient and malevolent creature named Enchutka echoed through the shadows, known to haunt the nightmares of those unfortunate enough to stumble upon its path. Enchutka was a monster shrouded in darkness and despair. Enchutka, with its grotesque appearance, resembled a wicked little devil. Its body was covered in a thick layer of coarse black hair, which seemed to ripple with each step it took. Small, twisted horns protruded from its bald head, giving the impression of a sinister crown. But what truly set it apart was its missing heel, a grisly reminder of the encounter that had severed it, a dire interaction with a ravenous wolf. A tale whispered among locals to strike fear into the hearts of all. Legend whispered that Enchutka possessed an insidious ability to settle in various locations, making even the most mundane spaces feel inherently sinister. Amongst its favored haunts were the desolate bathhouses and murky swamps that lay unnervingly close to the village, where it reveled in feeding on the fear of the innocent. In the dead of night, when the moon hung ominously low in the sky, and a chilling wind howled through the barren branches, Enchutka would emerge from its hidden lair. Its presence alone, a foreboding chill that permeated the air, would send shivers crawling up the spine of anyone unfortunate enough to witness its dark dance. The villagers lived in a constant state of trepidation, whispering their deepest fears and darkest worries. Children locked their doors, clutching talismans passed down through generations, seeking solace in the glow of the sacred amulets. Doors creaked and houses moaned, as if the very foundations sensed the arrival of Enchutka. Begging for mercy, many claimed to have seen glimpses of the monstrous imp lurking in the shadows, its glowing eyes piercing the night like twin beacons of malevolence. Others testified to its ability to manipulate the minds of its victims, whispering cruel truths and damning secrets that left those afflicted teetering on the precipice of madness. But the true horror of Enchutka rested not in the physical harm it could inflict, but in the psychological torment it reveled in. It possessed the power to prey upon the deepest fears of its victims, exploiting vulnerabilities hidden deep within their souls. Innocents became consumed by their own paranoia, their minds slowly unraveling as they fell victim to the insidious whispers that taunted them from the darkness. Yet, the story of Enchutka remains incomplete, for the villagers' struggle against this malevolent creature continues. They are united in their determination to face their fears head-on, for the true strength of humanity lies in its ability to shine a light into the darkest corners. As night after night passes, they stand guard, wielding ancient symbols and chants of protection, their spirits unwavering. In the depths of the village, a young girl named May found herself inexplicably drawn to the tale of Enchutka. Her curiosity knew no bounds, her insatiable thirst for knowledge overpowering any fear that tried to take hold of her. She yearned to unravel the mysteries surrounding the creature and perhaps, in doing so, find a way to rid her village of its suffocating grip. One moonlit night, May ventured into the heart of the forest, guided solely by her unwavering determination. The ancient trees seemed to whisper secrets as she weaved through the twisted roots and tangled undergrowth. The air grew dense, laced with an eerie silence that wrapped around her like a suffocating shroud. As she delved deeper, May stumbled upon an old, dilapidated hut. Shadows danced menacingly across its decaying walls, warning her of the danger that lay within. Ignoring the voice of reason ringing in her head, she stepped cautiously across the threshold. Inside, the air hung heavy with the musky scent of decay and an unseen malevolence that prickled the skin. The walls were adorned with scratched symbols, etched by a trembling hand, telling the desperate tale of a soul consumed by Enchutka's darkness. May traced the ancient markings with a trembling finger, her resolve only strengthened by the weight of the tragedy she sensed in this forsaken place. In a corner, obscured by darkness, a flickering candle cast eerie shadows upon a worn book. With a quivering hand, May picked it up, its pages crackling under her touch. A forbidden incantation, whispered by generations long past, beckoned to her. It promised answers, a glimmer of hope, but at a price that she couldn't fully comprehend. Driven by an indomitable desire to protect her loved ones, May dared to utter the incantation. The air grew frigid, her breath hanging in front of her like a spectral herald. The candle's glow intensified, casting dancing specters that snaked across the walls. Suddenly, the room was flooded with an otherworldly presence. Anchutka materialized before May, its twisted form oozing malevolence and rancid darkness. Its eyes glowed with an unholy light, fixated upon the defiant young girl who dared to challenge its reign. In a voice that sounded like the wails of lost souls, Anchutka hissed, its words dripping with venomous delight. "Foolish child, you seek to defy me. I am the embodiment of fear itself, the twisted essence that lingers in every shadow. You shall bow before me like all others." But May stood her ground, her eyes burning with a fire that seemed to outshine the candle's flame. She continued to recite the incantation, her voice growing stronger with each word, until the very walls of the hut trembled in response. The battle of wills raged on, each encounter becoming more intense. As Anchutka fought to maintain its dominion over May's mind, the physical world seemed to shift and warp, a twisted reflection of the torment churning within her. Amidst the chaos, May glimpsed a glimmer of light, a fragment of hope amidst the encroaching darkness. She felt herself teetering on the precipice of victory, her spirit bolstered by a newfound resilience she never knew she possessed. Deep within May's determined gaze, a flicker of ancient wisdom ignited. With each encounter, she unraveled one strand of Anchutka's power, unearthing its vulnerabilities as if pulling threads from a tapestry of malevolence. She discovered that Anchutka drew strength from fear and uncertainty, its power directly tied to the grip it held on its victims. Driven by this revelation, May embarked on a perilous quest to find an artifact rumored to be capable of banishing Anchutka forever. Legends whispered of an ancient temple hidden deep within the mountains, guarded by restless spirits and cloaked in an impenetrable mist. It was said that within its hallowed walls lay the key to ending Anchutka's reign of terror, equipped with the knowledge passed down from generations and her unwavering spirit. May ventured into the treacherous countryside. The land echoed with eerie whispers, the ethereal voices of those claimed by Anchutka, urging her to turn back. But she pressed on, determination pulsating in her veins. The descent to the mountain temple was treacherous, the path fraught with unseen dangers and tests of courage. Shadows danced menacingly around May, mocking her resolve. Yet she persisted, her eyes fixed on the prize that promised liberation from Anchutka's sinister grasp. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, May stood at the temple's entrance. Its massive doors, weathered by time, creaked open as if awaiting her arrival. The air tingled with a surge of ancient energy, charging the atmosphere with a palpable anticipation. Inside the temple, May was greeted by a relic of untold power. The artifact shimmered with an ethereal light, casting intricate patterns upon the walls. It was a weapon forged in the fires of long-forgotten battles, whispered to contain the essence of hope itself. Every footstep echoed through the vast hall, amplifying the weight of May's responsibility. She approached the artifact, her fingers trembling, its presence dwarfing her small frame. With a deep breath, she grasped the weapon, feeling its energy surge through her, intertwining her fate with the destiny of her village. May knew that her return would bring Anchutka to their doorstep once again. The monster, sensing her defiance, would swell with wrath, seeking to extinguish the flame of hope May carried within her. But armed with the relic's power and an unwavering support of the villagers, May felt a flicker of confidence ignite within her soul. The air grew thick with anticipation as the final act of this haunting tale unfurled before the eyes of those who dared to listen. Anchutka's grasp tightened, poised to unleash its darkest horrors, entangling May and her village in a desperate dance of survival. In the depths of the village, May returned, her heart resolute and her spirit aflame. The villagers gathered around her, their eyes filled with a mix of hope and trepidation. They knew that the impending clash with Anchutka would test the limits of their courage, but desperation compelled them to stand strong beside May, united against the monstrous imp that had plagued their lives for far too long. As night descended, a suffocating darkness settled over the village. Shadows crept along the walls, swirling and contorting with a life of their own. The air grew heavy, charged with the stench of imminent peril. Anchutka's presence loomed, a sinister cloud that seemed to overshadow the very essence of their fragile existence. May stepped forward, clutching the ancient relic tightly within her trembling hands. Its radiant glow pulsated, casting an ethereal radiance that contrasted sharply with the encroaching darkness. She channeled the strength of her village, the love and resilience that flowed through their collective spirit, into the weapon's core. The clash began with a blinding burst of light, the collision of hope and despair. Anchutka materialized before May, its twisted form seething with fury. Eyes filled with an unholy fire locked onto her, as the imp unleashed its arsenal of terror upon the village. But May stood firm, her gaze unwavering. With each swing of her weapon, she flung waves of resilience and defiance at Anchutka, threatening to unravel the very fabric of its existence. The battle raged, each strike resonating through the night as a testament to the indomitable nature of the human spirit. Ancient chants echoed through there as the villagers joined in solidarity, their voices rising in a chilling chorus. The harmony surrounded May, lending her strength and courage, a chorus of defiance against the cruel oppressor before them. In a crescendo of clashes and explosions, the climax approached. May's resolve remained unshaken, her purpose etched into the very essence of her being. Anchutka's blackened aura waned, its screams of agony mingling with the collective triumph of the village. As the final blow struck true, Anchutka dissipated into the icy mist, vanishing from existence. The weight that had oppressed the village for generations lifted, freeing them from the clutches of Anchutka's insidious reign. The nightmare that had festered within their hearts was finally exorcised. May collapsed to her knees, exhaustion etched across her face. Yet, her eyes sparkled with a newfound hope as the village erupted in jubilation. They had emerged from the clutches of darkness, stronger and more united than ever before. The villagers celebrated their victory, rebuilding their lives on solid ground, forever changed by the harrowing ordeal they had overcome. They would never forget the tale of Anchutka, a cautionary reminder of the perils that lurk in the shadows, forever etching its mark on the annals of their history. But in their hearts, they knew that darkness lingered, waiting for the chance to resurface. May, the beacon of their salvation, understood this too. With a renewed sense of purpose, she vowed to protect her village from the encroaching shadows, knowing that although Anchutka may have been defeated, the true battle against fear would continue to unfold, not only in the village but in the hearts of every individual who dared to dream. The story of Anchutka, the monster that plagued a village in Asia, now reached its conclusion. But the tale of inner strength, resilience, and the eternal struggle against the darkness would live on, a haunting reminder that courage has the power to banish even the most malevolent of creatures.